Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Time for you series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I had a really long night at work and a really big meal. I'm going to sleep real hard after this. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And that's basically the case today, although I didn't really find it per se, because I'm very familiar with this particular establishment. But yeah, I just got off of work. It was a very, very long run. They asked us to go over there and, come in for some extra time and stuff. And, especially with the holidays approaching, it was like, all right, I didn't really want to pull the 12 hours, but it was like, all right, let's get in the overtime. Let's, do what we need to do. And when everything was said and done, we were going to be letting out and an unusual time for us, and I was talking with one of my coworkers, and we're like, hey, opportunity to grab some food that we normally wouldn't be able to grab at this time. So I remembered that there was a place that he and I had talked about plenty of times going, and that I had been many times. What is it? What am I reviewing for you folks? Well, we decided to go out to, I gotta grab the right thing, boom, out to Dak Dak Korean Wings. I like Dak Dak Korean Wings. I like Dak Dak Korean Wings so much that I've actually reviewed a bunch of their wings, as well as some of their other items. Dak Dak Korean Wings, they are a local spot specializing in Korean-style chicken wings, but they also have fries, chicken sandwiches occasionally, as well as other stuff. And like I said, I reviewed a bunch of their stuff. And, well, this being a local establishment, by the way, this review, as well as all of those reviews, are in my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just local Illinois spots. But yeah, so me and my coworker went over there, we ate. I got a couple orders of wings. I knew one of them I was going to hold off, do a review later. That happens to be these. What are these, though? These are their sweet and spicy wings. Boom, look at them. And their sweet and spicy wing consists of, well, I wrote it down, but I lost the thing. But I remember, it's soy, their gochujang, and brown sugar. Which, that sounds good to me. Now, the only caveat here is, I did order these with the meal, so they have been sitting for just a little bit. So they're, not fresh out of the oven or however the thing, but, so just taking that into account. Oh, they smell so good. And yeah, and my coworker thoroughly enjoyed the place, so that was fun. I don't always get to, take people to the places that I go to. But I believe in them, damn it. So let's get a thing for a thing, and it looks like that. Well, ha 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 ha. Let's try out some sweet and spicy wings. Mm-hmm. Even having sat there for a little bit, those are still some of the best wings I've ever had. And it speaks volumes to how good they are at what they do with Dak Dak. The fact that, again, these were sitting there, coated in sauce, and you heard it. I bit into this. It's still got a nice crunchy exterior. It's brilliant, and I love it. Yeah. In terms of chicken wings, Dak Dak is my favorite place. Fry in wings. I've reviewed some of their stuff too. Also really good, but I have to admit, I gotta give it to Dak Dak. Quality of their chicken is just unmatched. Super tender, super tasty, and just that crunch. That crunch when you bite into it, that exterior. Nothing. I haven't ever had wings quite like them. And they're nice meaty wings too. But let's talk about the sauce, because that's what we're here to talk about, right? Technically, we're here to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. It's my channel. You can go over there and start talking about Transformers. What's your opinion on the Dinobots? I love the Dinobots. What's your favorite Dinobot? Mine, I go between Swoop and Sludge. I like both of them. But these are super tasty. And yeah, it's interesting because they call it sweet and spicy, but they almost could have called it savory sweet and spicy. Because you do get that sort of saltiness from the soy, but it's not overdone. It just kind of is enhancing all the other flavors. You get a little bit of heat from like the gochujang, and it's not crazy spicy or anything like that, but it definitely kind of tickles the tongue a little bit, livens things up for your taste buds, and then yeah, there's this nice kind of sweetness that goes along with it from the brown sugar, and I think it really speaks to the credit of what Dak Dak does with their sauces, that none of it feels out of balance. Not one of those things feels like it's outweighing the others. These are really super good. Like, oh, that brown sugar, man, that just hits. I love brown sugar. Closest thing I could say, kind of tastes like, and let me emphasize, I'm doing this for comparison's sake, kind of like a sweet teriyaki sauce, but nowhere near as sweet and much more complexity and depth, but at the same time still being very simple flavors fundamentally. And that really is kind of the thing. That's why I think Dak Dak does so well is that, oh, that's so good. Just because as you're eating it, you do get occasional hits where one thing is a little bit more vibrant than the others, so it's like one time it'll be a little bit more of the brown sugar, one time you get a little bit more of the gochujang. It's so tasty. But like, they come up with some really interesting sauces. Like, I've reviewed some really interesting sauces on the channel. But I think it speaks to their credit that it's like, when you look at their ingredients list, there's really nothing crazy about it. It's usually only made up of 3 or 4 ingredients at most. And it's just making sure you use those ingredients the right way and that you're using good ingredients. It carries it, and you can do so much. And I think that's what they do really, really well. And I think that speaks to the quality of them as an institution. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get the sweet and spicy again? Would I recommend it? Absolutely and absolutely. I think these are really good. I've liked pretty much every single, sauce wings from Dak Dak that I've had. I think worst case scenario, there was one that didn't live up to expectations. I was hoping it would offer a little bit more, didn't quite. But in terms of what they do, like, because fundamentally the chicken is just excellent. So you're building on a great base. And then it's really just, again, working with really good flavors. And I think this honestly really kind of emphasizes perfectly what they do. Simple ingredients, but just taken to that next level and just allowing the flavor to speak for itself. And I love these. I love, you watch the channel, I love contrasting flavors. I love mixes of sweet and spicy and savory and stuff. So for me, every mouthful is just a fun little adventure of getting to see, okay, again, am I going to get a little bit more brown sugar with this one? Am I going to get a little bit more with the gochujang? And yet it still all feels balanced and delicious. And I would definitely get these again. I would honestly say that these are some of my favorite wings that I've had from Dak Dak. Maybe not my outright favorite, but yeah. And if I'm recommending them, I'm definitely recommending them. I mean, there's some people who don't like the mix of sweet and spicy and all that stuff. That is what it is. Then it might not be for you. But honestly, I would think, even if you are that person, I would still kind of recommend you at least try these. Maybe if like a friend or family member, you go out together, maybe if they get some, maybe be like, hey, maybe let me get one of those. Because with a lot of sweet and spicy stuff, it's so overdone, like to an extent where it's like almost mismatched. That's not the case here. Again, everything feels in balance. It just has those elements to it. So these are ones where not only would I go over there and recommend them, but I would actually say flat out, like, if you're going there, these would be one of the ones to try if, maybe like the duck fat or the gochujang might seem a little bit more intimidating. Maybe, just something called sweet and spicy might be something you can just kind of tie yourself to a little easier. And I think that they'll deliver. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month. Spend this rest of your year, folks. Go over there yourselves a truly, I'm going to sleep for a million years tastic rest of your life. I can't do that. I need to wake up early tomorrow because I have to dog sit. Oh, God. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal take when it comes to the combination of flavors? Do you like sweet and spicy? Do you like sweet and savory? Where do you personally draw the line? I mean, for me, I'll try pretty much anything, but I'm not the biggest sour guy in the world, but if you blend it with the right things, sweet and sour, obviously, But I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Please feel free to comment. Anyway, I'm very tired. Bye!